is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
Years ago, wishing everyone a happy new year and all the blessings for the future. Sure is different now. Look at you. Before and after.
Okay, so we just walked to go pick up a new sleeping air pad, and we got there and the guy's like, oh, your Amazon code expired a few hours ago, so it was put on the shelf again. Check your email, Amazon will make a new code. Well, it was donated to me, and look at my lips. So yesterday I was on here talking about how grateful I was that since I had drank 3 gallons of water in 3 days, that my lips, my skin, my hair, my nails, everything felt moist and renewed. Went to sleep last night and woke up like this. This tooth doesn't look like that in real life. They continue to do what they call buttering me. If I have a...
Stop, they're not buttering your tooth, Heather. You know that's what some people call it. Oh my gosh. Why? It was so hard not to take a screenshot whenever she was making that face, though. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Food item with butter. I usually get an everything bagel with butter. Then they make me look like this on all of my recordings on the phone. I want to press charges against everyone involved. So we get all the way back here. I'm going to post you guys a photo. I am so cold. Freezing. In less than 30 minutes of walking outside, I'm contracting repeatedly in intense pain from my lower abdomen. Cannot breathe. I'm literally doubled over in pain, like telling Xavier I refuse to go sit at the hospital again. I refuse to spend my New Year's in the hospital. I'm not a sick person. I'm not, just because they're holding me in a tent doesn't mean I'm going to take every excuse to go sit in the fucking hospital. No, thank you. We walk back to the tent and look at this picture, you guys. My sock is wet because I don't have boots. The only shoes I have are my Nike, the fabric ones, and some other fabric like slip-ons. I have one pair of boots that I bought last year with a big heel on them that have like a hole in the front that are like fake leather. They're not winter boots. Look at my toe, exactly where my sock is wet. Look at the discoloration. It's almost purple.
So, we're emailing this guy. He said he will hold my stuff to the side. And thanks again to NS. Woo, girl, NS, you be donating, girl. For replacing my sleeping pad after someone popped the last one. She bought you two. Wow, how sweet of her. How sweet and kind of NS.
So as soon as we get back, I can't feel my big toe at all. And Xavier is gonna go get us food and pick up the package because, you know, we get back and immediately upon arrival, they send me a message with the new package number. I got an email from someone.
Oh my gosh, Xavier, please turn it off. He's like, he's just like a kid, I swear.
Who works at Amazon, and he asked me to email him and let him know what we're expecting. I'm going to send him my baby registry info, and I told him what they told me on Amazon on the phone, that nothing was purchased. He agreed with me that the algorithm and the coding for Amazon is that if something is purchased, it automatically marks itself off of your registry unless you choose not to have it do that. But nothing marks itself as purchased if it has not been purchased.
Did people mess with her registry or something? I purchased an e-com store to start off the new year. No sign of the welcome email. Have been warned that someone is planning to steal my unborn baby and targeted by multiple adoption centers, even after telling them I have no plans on putting my child up for adoption, period. And overall, been targeted in every way. They have been doing it for the past 4 years. How do I start the new year off different than the drama and harassment from the past 4 years? We'll do everything different than you have been. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Oh, website. Okay. Why is she trying to buy a website? Weed maps? Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. Do you need to make sure you know where all the weeds at whenever you're walking? When you're hiking through? Oh, man, I can't. A note from the OG baddie. What the fuck? Is that her name? Heather, is that your name on there? Follow my statement creative page where I am the model, photographer, makeup artist, and the curator for 90% of the work featured. No, thank you.
All right, you guys. So my plan for tonight was to spend the night going over my goals and working on my e-commerce. I just purchased a new e-commerce store in the niche pet supplies through Shopify.
How much is this website store? Like, imagine being homeless living in a tent, but you own a website to a store online.
Not because I don't know how to build a store, just because I don't have a device right now other than my phone, and paying the $20 to have them run analytics on the best-selling products and put everything together for me.
Wow. You're doing, this is what you choose to do with your $20, and I know it's not a one-time fee.
It seems totally worth it. So I
mean, it
paid
might
it.
be.
You saw the email. They responded. They said that the store is ready. I went through my email looking for that fulfillment. I cannot find it. So New Year's Eve, happy.
Yes, but they said to look out for the email. Not that it was coming like right this second. It's there right now.
New Year's. I'm just going to spend reading up on Shopify and writing down my goals for the new year. And just trying not to be overwhelmed at what seems like the start of another, turbulent battle with various frauds and scams. It's exhausting, you guys. What the
Well, see, here's the thing, Heather. Why don't you just actually get up and just get a real fucking job instead of like trying to, she's trying to be like, oh, I'm creative, So she does like these weird ass like photo shoots and curating shit online and art crap. It's just like so annoying. Get a job. What is that? That is not making you no money. Get your ass up and get a job. We ain't got time for you to sit here and play around and explore and shit, okay? You're gonna do that after your real fucking job. Like, it's to the point, Heather, where you need to work just about anywhere. Go work at a damn grave site, cleaning the tombstones. I really, at this point, what? But the other day, she pretty much said that she would get jobs that would fit her, did she say bachelor's? So she tried not to get a job. Always keep receipts. Also have bank statements, witnesses, first-hand testimony, and more. Not including handwritten notes, social media lives, and other posts. I have 5 other iClouds with notes, videos, and photos since 2019, documenting the tremendous abuses I have survived. These are only notes from November 22nd to today. I don't like the name she was going. I don't like the spelling of Easton. Why would you spell it like that? Easton? You said Easton. You didn't say Eastwind. You said Easton. Sorry. Doesn't even look right. Xavier the bitch. Spends his money and time on pot. Oh my gosh, that was this December. It was December 3rd, 23. Oh my gosh.
Last week, it was foster care systems for my unborn child. I'm not putting my child up for adoption. This week, it's lesbian connection.
She says, I'm not a lesbian.
Why? Who is taking their time to subscribe me to all of this? I'm not a lesbian. So I'm not a lesbian. My belief system, not to get political, is kind of like whatever for you. For me, it's like definitely a man, definitely gender roles, traditional.
Okay, what the hell happened to the space heater? Because this blow dryer is getting on my nerves.
I mean, I'm not like, one of those women who thinks that we all have to go back to days on the prairie wearing like long skirts with petticoats and saying yes sir and
Scarlet Lady,
treating their husband like he is, the be all end all of the household. I agree in, having a say so and carrying your own weight, etc. and so forth. However, when it comes to typical domestic duties, I think the mom, me, is the one who spends most of her time with the child, and the father goes out and does whatever, the errands or work. If we're finding ourselves in like a difficult time and I need to break down emotionally, I would expect that my husband would support that and would rub my back and let me cry for a second. And, that if just traditional roles, like I want to feel like he's stronger than me, even if it's not true. And I want him to act like it and make me feel delicate and soft. Traditional kind of gender roles, I'm not like I said, I don't think that women should not have rights. I just believe in traditional gender roles, and I'm not a lesbian. And then Xavier thinks that it's very important that I clarify my opinions on feminism for whatever reason. And I don't even truly know what feminism is. I think that it's subjective and open to interpretation, and there are varying degrees from like a little bit feminist to like very, very hardcore extreme feminism. And I don't think that there's any simple way to define what that term really even means.
Talking about man-hating feminists.
I don't hate men, even though I have been sexually assaulted, which has been linked to a higher correlation of distrust and hatred towards men. I still, for some reason, trust men, ironically. What about law enforcement?
Their involvement in your targeting.
You just asked me.
Yeah, that would be weird that she's thinking, what about law enforcement? Well, supposedly they did that to you too, so.
About feminism. And also just in general about trust, we were talking about this earlier. If there's anyone who should be distrustful of everyone, it would be me. Like, low-key, my mother left me in a foreign country when I was 14 years old after telling me she was taking me on a week-long birthday trip to Jamaica. Literally, while we're up in the air, tells me I'm not coming home, leaves me there for almost a full year, 11 months and some days. And I still came home and wanted nothing more than a relationship with her, and have always been very forgiving, trustworthy, and empathetic in general when meeting people. So it's really weird because history would tell a different story, that I should be very distrustful, guarded. I am actually the complete opposite, which is why I always have to have my bodyguard here with me, just to help me out with things.
That's a huge man. Yeah, Betty, drop. Did him drop Pepper? Did she get herself? Oh, I thought she got herself a vest too. I'm not gonna say it. Dang, her lips are still. Dang. He definitely has dropped. 34 pregnant. I have been outside with not a single night indoors since February 2023. I want to die. I only live for my children and my unborn baby. God, please let me rest peacefully and eternally. I give up this battle of hatred, lies, and slander. Oh my gosh. No comment, because I'm not in the mood to make comment. I can't make comment. I can't. I'm too aggravated right now. I'm just trying to figure
This is not living. I don't know anyone breathing who has been abused to this extent. So, in addition, again.
Actually, I think it was stolen from the Franklin Park penthouse, which was after Montclair. SMH. So annoying.
An exact repeat of what they did after Montclair. My Motorola phone that I always keep in my extra pouch with my wallet and stuff is gone. So I put it there this morning. We came back, it's not there. Shit has been being stolen and then literally like 3 days later being put back in the original spot just to make you feel extra like you're losing your shit. I don't know how law enforcement hasn't gotten this under control yet. It makes absolutely no.
Oh my gosh. Adoption planners new submission from homepage contact form. I don't know who you are looking for, but they are fraudulently using my email address. My name is Heather Gillespie. I am 33 weeks pregnant and currently handling my 4th year of this kind of unlawful abuse, harassment, stalking, and other unlawful and unethical victimizations. Please call your local police and report that someone has attempted to sign up for your services with my name, please. If the police have any questions for me, I can be reached via email or phone at thank you for your cooperation, Heather Gillespie, sent from my iPhone. I have sent this response to every single adoption inquiry I have received. I in no way want or should put my child up for adoption. I have asked every person contacted by someone pretending to be me to report this to the feds and local authorities. This is January 3rd. Okay, well, obviously, people aggravate the fuck out of me. That, oh, Mama Bear, you think people are actually messaging her? Sometimes, yeah. And people irritate the fuck out of me. Like, literally, who would fucking call Heather Dusty if it wasn't one of these people online? You know what I'm saying? I have received more than 10 of these in the last week. Also sent copies to my lawyer and law enforcement as well as each of the area alderman offices. This accounts for less than half of the incoming emails, calls, messages, and other harassment communications since 2024 began. At Chicago Police Department, how many years do you expect to have me live outdoors and attempt being harassed before solutions are presented? Oh my gosh, she tagged WG News, ABC News, CNN, NBC, lawyers. This is so boring. It is so boring. People literally have no life. I don't care if it's fucking somebody calling Heather. I don't care if it's Heather calling herself. Whoever's doing it has no fucking life. How? For anyone new this year, my name is Heather Gillespie. I am a mother to 3 children, ages 10, 15, and 17, and I'm currently homeless with baby number 4. Wow, Heather. Way to introduce yourself there, buddy. January 3rd, 2024, 34 weeks pregnant, baby number 4.
I'm early at the laundromat.
I was given no choice in the matter. I had to call my children's father immediately and ask him to take the kids to his house. So to recap, my children legally are supposed to reside with me 4.5 days a week and their father 2.5 days a week by court. Okay, I'm not going to read this, Heather. Are you see? Where did this come from? Are you talking about the night whenever the police were called and the children were separated to go to grandma's and dad's house? Why are you talking about this? We all know, and they don't live with you at all. At all.
New here, I have been the primary custodial parent to all 3 of my children their entire lives. Prior to a really, really abusive relationship in 2015 to 19, my children lived with me the duration of the relationship. It was not until I was on the upswing of getting out of the relationship that law enforcement came to my home after an attempted home invasion on Thanksgiving 2019 and asked me to call my children's fathers because I was hysterical after calling to report a home invasion attempt on my house. So when I asked the police why are they doing this, despite the fact that I have in hand a custody paperwork that I'm showing them, they say that I, again, am hysterical, that I'm crying, and that they
don't think that I'm in a good mental state to take care of my children. I asked the officer, do you have a wife? Are you married? Do you have any daughters? What do you think their mental state would be if a man, gray-haired man they never seen before, was attempting to open their living room window and crawl in? Probably hysterical, right? Needless to say,
that's why she owned a gun. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm just kidding. What am I?
We're 4 years later, and I've gotten 2 other apartments since then. And several members of law enforcement have approached me claiming that they are there to assist me and keep me safe until we are able to get this case into court.
I doubt it. I doubt that was ever said unless Heather was like bombarding one, and then he said that to make her feel better.
I have all of their names written down, dates, locations, addresses.
You better not say it.
I also have all the ways that I've been violently victimized over these 4 years. This is just dry because we're sleeping outside in a tent. I have everything documented.
Right. But why is it just that one part that's dry? I get dry lips sometimes, and I live in the South. But it's not just one part of my lip right there.
It's all been turned into law enforcement. So, pardon me. Most recently, fake police, including one woman named Gabby, who I actually worked with at Paragdoshi's Cardiovascular Institute many years ago. They were all dressed as law enforcement. They're not law enforcement. I've called to verify that.
So Gabby worked at the cardiovascular department in the hospital? Is that what you just said? I don't know what she worked as, but now she's a police officer or she's a fake police officer. That's weird. I wonder why she would do that job change.
No law enforcement team says that they're a part of their team. They physically batter-rammed my door down from my apartment at Montclair after I had been robbed for several thousands of dollars about 2 years ago. So in April of 2022, batter-rammed my door down and physically assaulted me, grabbed me by my face, slammed me against the wall, and threw me out of my own apartment that I stood with lease in hand, still have it with me on my person, and all my rental receipts.
On my person. On my person. On my person. Oh my gosh, Heather, you are a street person. You're a fucking bad. On my Who says on my person? I'm sorry, y'all. I just woke up a little bit ago. That has never slipped out of my mouth. Yeah, I sure enough did bring it. It's actually on my person right now.
Still have I have filed 8 petitions now, 7 petitions formally and the 8th one online, with hundreds of police reports. Never have I ever been granted a single court date. Never have lost.
Xavier told me he was sent by Jehovah God himself. He said his brother Carlos Montoya works for the district attorney's office and that they had secured an apartment for me and my family on the Gold Coast while this case prepared to go to court. That was in July of 2022.
So I tried going to Arlington Heights to file. The same thing happened. Literally empty parking lot, no one in there. Security blamed it on COVID. I said, wasn't COVID over in 2020? We're in 2024, sir. Or it was 2023 at the time. He said, no, well, we still have closures and this and that. Anytime I have gone into the courthouse, I have video evidence or a witness or both. So I've never been subpoenaed by court. I've never been contacted by court. Thousands of emails back and forth from all of the area judges. I have obtained lists of all their names with their administrative assistants respectively, and I have been emailing back and forth with them since 2020 when all of this began, maybe even earlier. So we still have received 0 results. Juan was the last person who presented me with a badge stating that he was law enforcement, and he was the one who dropped me off directly to
Xavier. Oh, stop. Who's he talking to? Is he allowed to be on the phone, Heather? Is he wearing 2 rings, or is his wedding ring on the opposite hand? Or am I tripping? Look at Xavier. He's wearing tights and a jacket and how? Put some fucking socks on, bro.
Xavier, and that was 18 months ago.
I am not talking about that. Just going down to the bottom. I will stop reading. And I was also impregnated. This is the second pregnancy and I cured on birth control. The first pregnancy came from... I'm not gonna read this stupid shit. But you know what? Like I said, you get pregnant all the time. How do homeless people? Do y'all have like high? Because you constantly getting pregnant, and you're on birth control. Wow, that's believable.
Approximately a month after I met Xavier, something took place, a phenomenon that I can't really describe. I call it a dosing, a drug dosing. I was lucid. I was in and out of consciousness. I have recollection of what was taking place. Someone was rubbing their feet on my body from my head all the way to my toes, knowing that I have a phobia of feet, among other weird sexual perversions. I reported and documented every single one. Shortly after I expressed that I was not happy with that,
I can't. Like, I'm really gonna let it play for y'all, but I cannot I don't like listening to this. And especially the way that she was like, oh yeah, I told the police and they didn't do anything. Like, she was more of like, kind of like aggravated with the situation. If that fucking happened to me, I would be in tears, I would be crying, I would be disgusted, I would be sick, I would be pissed, I'd be so emotions in one. And the way she's handling it, I'm just like, I don't believe you, and it makes me sick that that's what you're claiming for those twins. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are better where they're at now. And now this baby, like, I can't. I gotta be quiet.
We were thrown out of that apartment. And I have been literally walking around in circles, applying for jobs, contacting law enforcement, petitioning the court ever since. I walk all the way to Franklin Park and the northwest side of Chicago, Portage Park, to drop off groceries to my children at least once a month. I've missed a couple of months due to weather.
The day my final paycheck ran out from Getir, February 15th, 23, we had nothing further to pay for, Airbnb, and nowhere to go. The state, the police, nor the court system has followed up with me in any way, despite the hundreds, probably thousands of calls and emails and in-person inquiries I have made. I have documented this all here as well as on other social media sites, and I have more than 5 iClouds filled with proof of everything. Sure you do, Jan.
I had a job working at this place called Getir, and they fire me when I lose the babies. I worked there for approximately 3 months.
They fired you because you sent that horrific video to your coworker.
Paid for Airbnbs for us. If you guys go to the highlight section, you can click on Airbnb reviews and see that I have nothing but positive reviews, more than 20 of them for every single place I've stayed. I'm a very respectful individual, so all of this is easily proven, and it's so thoroughly documented. It's hysterical that it's even still going on. But when I was let go from that job for losing the babies, I didn't know whether to shit or fall in it, so to speak. I could not believe that we were heading into year 4 of this unlawful oppression. I have 3 children waiting for me. How is this going on? I have no criminal record. How is this happening? I'm aware of my civil and human rights. How are they just blatantly ignoring them? And how many people like me are there walking around looking for shelter, wondering what the fuck is happening? When I ask Xavier what's going on with his brother, who works for the state's attorney, and why he hasn't called us back or given us any sort of direction, he gets sort of doesn't know what to say, says that he's going to call him again, and that he never calls us back.
Well, maybe his brother doesn't mess with them. I don't know. That's a very sad situation with both families.
I don't know if this whole thing has been a lie. I don't know if his brother is in custody. I don't know if his brother is being held for ransom. There are any number of things that could be going on. The district attorney or a representative of that office who is aware of what's going on in my case, it's highly unlikely they would just stop following up with us. What's more likely is that there's some sort of nefarious extortion taking place. And so for that reason, I would like to shout out Carlos Montoya and say, someone please check on this man and check his phone call records and check his email logs and make sure that he is not being targeted nefariously and extorted, because we have received no follow-up, and both Xavier and myself have remained outdoors in a tent since February 15th of 2023. I am 34, so I
Instagram said nope. Okay.
just documented a live feed on TikTok that several people were also screen time recording and recording audio. I call 311. I explain the situation again. I tell them I have 15 case numbers since September. Zero assistance has been provided. We have not been placed as one safe space. There's no subsidized housing, no HUD, no open Section 8 list, no nothing. Literally nothing. And I've received nothing but a headache every time I try to see a doctor for this pregnancy. I have to go see my primary care physician, and he has been ordering, even though he's not an OB-gynecologist, my tests so that I'm not completely just left out with no medical care.
What tests has he been providing? Because I haven't heard anything. The last test I've heard was a blood test, and you never got that done. So what test was he providing?
All of this is illegal. All of this is obstruction. All of this is unethical.